So, the type of videos I will describe are explain videos. So, I want to make more mature content and I want to go beyond just VR chat. And luckily, we have these recordings that I can use. So, the first video in my new explained series is going to be why did I got into VR? It all started when I went to Game Mania. It's like a game store in 2016. I had a pre-order for the PS4 Pro and I was going to get it with my girlfriend. But then on the right side, they had a demo for the PlayStation VR. So I sat down, put the headset up, and explored a bit. It was like a VR demo where you go underwater in a cage. Great, horrible choice for me with my PTSD stuff. And you were in a cage going down, and you saw like fishes and sharks and turtles just going around, and that was it. It was a demo, especially back in 2016. After that, I gave my girlfriend a shot. She did the same thing, and then I got my PS4 Pro, went home, and me and my girlfriend talked about this. Like, wow, that was our first time experiencing VR, and that was like I couldn't explain back then to a single soul. Like, hey, can you explain to me what it is? Like, I can't. It's such a weird new type of video content in my brain that it's like it's 3D, but like further than that. After that, I went on not caring about VR for a while because I didn't have money to buy a gaming PC. The Oculus headsets and the Vive headset were very primitive, so it was more like you had to be fully invested into VR to be invested in it. And I had a Mac, and I didn't care or had money for all the expenses. Spare no expense. So yeah, that was my very first experience. It was cool. The headset itself was bad, but it was nice. I never got it, even though I technically could have gotten it. It was not worth it. It was absolutely not a priority in 2016 for me. After that, we fast forward to 2019 when Meta, Oculus, released the very first headset I got, which was the Oculus Quest, just Oculus Quest. And that thing had two things that made it doable for me. One, it had USB-C. Until that point, all PCVR headset had the DisplayPort, and a DisplayPort is an outdated piece of technology, so my Apple devices don't have it, but it has USB-C. And the Quest One had USB-C, and you could buy a cable, connect it to a Mac with Bootcamp, and bam, you have VR setup. Obviously, in the first month or so, you only had PC, well, native VR. So I explored VR chat on Quest 1 day 1, which was an absolute horrible experience. But I saw like, oh, you can watch YouTube and stuff, and I explored the thing, and that was mind blowing. Even back with the Quest 1, the lowest end headset you can think of these days, that it blew my mind compared to that little experience or that demo from the PSVR headset. And of course, I opened the box of Pandora when a month later I got the $100 Oculus Link cable. Yes, I'm one of those idiots. And just bootcamp my Mac and just there, PCVR, VR chat, and Beat Saber, and all the other stuff. After that, I explained to my friends that I met that I experienced VR sickness. And I still have it. It's not as bad as it used to be, but back in the day, I could play like maximum an hour, and I would have to quit or I throw up. Then it went like 2 hours, and now I can reach 3 hours. But even today, all these years later, and all these improvement in hardware, I cannot play longer than 3 hours or I get sick. And those are the good days. Sometimes it's still 2.5, but two is doable. 2 is the sweet spot, but I can handle 3. But unless like I'm hanging out with Kyla a lot, or there's like a big movie I have to watch or something, or a huge event, the chances are big that if I feel sick, I quit. Simple. Then, after that, I decided to take VR seriously, and I got a headset that made me fall in love with VR. That, of course, is my Valve Index. This was the ultimate VR headset, and I got it as a birthday gift in 2020. I literally got this a couple days before I got the gaming PC, and yeah, I went from like Quest 1 with bootcamp on my iMac Pro and play like kinda PC VR without losing frames to expensive gaming PC with a DisplayPort cable and the Valve Index with another DisplayPort cable with full body tracking, and yeah, then my love for VR completely evolved for the second time. First time was like the PC VR, the PlayStation VR thingy. Quest 1 was horrible, so I didn't feel more. It felt like the same feeling, just wow. But the Index changed my opinion. Not the last time it will happen. Spoiler. I went full out with the Valve Index. I got my full body trackers, got 2 more base stations, and I invested all my time into, VR chat. I was a mirror dweller, and I did a lot of stuff with full body users do, like dancing and stuff, and just I experienced the best of the best, and it spoiled me to the point, I just lost touch in reality. But all good things have to come to an end, sadly. VR chat is filled with toxic stuff, questionable stuff, and after the lockdown ended, I was completely immersed into this, and it made me like not care much about my VR headset anymore. So usually I just used it for like going to my community events and just doing stuff and recording videos. I love making them, but not like how it used to be in lockdown. So yeah, and the Valve Index was kind of a stupid device unless you play PC VR. But then of course I then also bought the Quest 2, and the one that OCAP still has by this day. And I explained to myself like, hey, we need to wake up my love again. So I did with the Quest 2, because the Quest 2 had something cool, something that I missed. It made me realize that VR is more than just PC VR. And the Quest 2 was more like a standalone computing device that is actually capable and has a good display compared to the Quest 1. The Quest 2 was good for watching YouTube videos, was good for playing standalone games, and was good for like experimenting stuff. And it's because of the Quest 2 that I kinda basically just use PC VR for Valve Index and then VR cool stuff for the Quest 2. And yeah, it made me fall in love with this again, and it made me experience VR for another way. And now we go to the current wave of my feelings for VR. The Quest 3. I got this thing for my birthday in 2023, and I said I'm gonna go full out on the replacing the Quest 2 and the Valve Index and merging them together, being a cool standalone headset with more capabilities, but also more powerful enough and display-wise enough to be my replacement for the Index, especially since the Index broke a couple of months before that, so I was actually without VR on PC VR. The Quest 3 is one of the best pieces of technology I had in my while. Like, this has good cameras and good displays, so I can explore like how VR is currently, where you can just have floating windows, and I have YouTube on the wall. And the Quest 3 has great microphone and good display, and I said, you know what? Bam, Index gone. I am fully Questy. VR is a cool niche way of experiencing gaming, but people keep forgetting that there is more in VR than VR chat and more than just playing games. These are computing devices, especially the standalone headsets. These are just their own media things. You can watch videos on this thing. You can watch cool stuff on this thing. You can browse the internet. You can even work on it. You can connect your Mac and PC and have the desktop as a big screen. If you go full in with VR as it is, or spatial computing as Apple calls it, it is a game-changing device. And I think every young person should have like some kind of a Quest 3-ish in their hands. and yet made me fall in love. And this is why I love VR so much. This is why I'm using it even today. VR is valuable. And I'm very glad I made that decision back in 2016 of putting the PlayStation VR in my head. If I didn't do that, I probably would have never been here in this game. Because VR was something new to me. And I had to invest in it. But now I'm glad I'm here and I'm ready for the future. So this is my first explain episode where I just, in a weird quirky way, just explain to you what are going on with this thing. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this new type of videos. I like feedback. This is not a permanent design layout. I might switch it around based on feedback. Right? I will explore more topics and find new way things. I'm gonna probably use the dolly for like some cool shots, but I need to slowly learn these features out. As I explained in my dolly guide, I don't have much knowledge with the dolly, but I have to because my PC has been reset. So from now on, I am natively just making content on the Quest 3 and my Mac. Good duo. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoy what you like, you can always put a thumbs up, and if you dislike it, you can put a thumbs down. You can always comment below what you thought about the video, and I would like to thank my server boosters and the coffee supporters for supporting the channel and the brand. We couldn't do without you. Stay hydrated, and see you next time.